Welcome to Simply Sheppey, your community podcast which aims to create and enhance connections within the community to build a better Sheppey. Hi Sammie, thanks for joining us today.
Hello.
Hiya. You have a dance business in Kent, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
So today you're on here to talk to us a little bit about that, a little bit about yourself, and a little bit about your relationship with the Isle of Sheppey. So did you want to start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and your business?
Yeah, so I'm Sammie. I run Boogie Tots Entertainment. That includes parent toddler dance classes, after school dance clubs, also do an adult dance class. I work in a couple of schools and nurseries, and I also do kids' parties.
Goodness me, that's an awful lot. Sounds like great fun though.
Yeah, I do enjoy my job very much.
Did it get affected at all by the coronavirus?
Yeah, quite a lot. You know, when you try and think back about the coronavirus, it seems like it was a week ago, but also maybe like 2 years ago as well. It seems very recent, but when you think about it, it's such a long time ago. So I think maybe when it was in March, there was maybe a bit of stuff on the news and people getting a little bit nervous. So I decided to shut my classes then. And very quickly, we moved on Zoom. Like by the end of March, I tested the waters. I've got a Facebook page. I did a Facebook Live of one of my Boogie Tot sessions, and it got quite a lot of views. I don't know how. I think it got shared on a family top tips lockdown page, and it ended up getting like 16,000 views. Not that I saw the customers from that, but it got loads and loads of views, and I thought, oh, there's something in this, you know. So I quickly set up like a private a group that you would subscribe to, and we were doing Boogie Tots every week online, and so moved the business online. Obviously wasn't working well. My job isn't a job you can do from home to be paid, because I'm self-employed, if that makes any sense. So yeah, just doing the stuff myself, but I was lucky enough to get furloughed by the holiday park I work at, which was great, and I did manage to get a job at the beginning as well. I worked in Audi for a little while, so that was all tiding me over, and then yeah, just managed to do Boogie Tots online. And during the summer there was a dip because people wasn't interested so much, and then I think we went back for a little bit. Then we went back to face-to-face classes just before Christmas, and that was extremely popular because no one had been out anywhere. Some babies had been born in lockdown and never been to a class.
Oh, so goodness. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, my Boogie Tots class isn't really for babies because it's very active, and if your child isn't walking, it can be quite tiring for you because you're going to be carrying that baby a lot of the time. So, but people with babies still came because they wanted to get out, and yeah, at that time Boogie Tots was more a social thing, a chance to meet other people, just a chance to get out of the house. Yeah, and then we went back down lockdown again in January, didn't we? And then it picked back up. In January I started getting schools. I was teaching schools online. I taught some nurseries online. I was doing kids parties. We were doing a kids disco. We decided to do like a monthly kids disco online, and I even picked up a booking from a bank that were doing it for their well-being for the children and families at home. So I think after we've been through it all, everyone was now an expert on Zoom, and everyone was on Zoom. So yeah, it was good. I was really pleased to pick up my schools again, and for them to embrace doing it online. That was really nice.
How did you follow all of the kids dancing on Zoom? I mean, did you see like the little squares of them on the screen?
Yeah, so originally, yes, it was great because they would all sign in, and they would, well, I tried to prep them, put your name so I could say, oh, hi Kay, oh yeah, you're doing really good moves, stuff like that. But sometimes it would be their parents' name and you could tell it was their parents, so I'd say that as well. But yeah, towards the end, so this was when they were doing it at home. When they got back in school, then I couldn't see anyone, and that was really awful. Yeah, it's just like dancing in your front room to no one. So that was.
Did you get any feedback from them at all? I mean, did you hear anything, or
no? You can't hear them. If you hear them, you can't hear the music, and all you hear is shouting. So no,
wow.
you know, the chat box. I used to get them to type their favourite songs in the chat box, and they would say, we love this one, or can we do one about dogs or something like that. So yeah, a little bit of feedback, but
Okay.
yeah, that was
Imagine.
tough. I found that bit tough.
Are you doing any more Zoom classes, or is it all back face to face
No,
now?
I'm all back to face now, which is really nice, because there's so much more you can do now you're in the classroom. Like I do, well, just asking everyone their name, get them in a circle, ask everyone their name. You can't really do that on Zoom, it's tricky. And I also get them to do their own dance moves, do their own choreography, hold hands with other people, like partner work, and get into lines and just stuff like that you can't do on Zoom. So, well, although I have tried, it hasn't really worked. We've done a really interesting Chinese New Year session online, and I was like, "Yeah, blanket." So we got a blanket and we pretended to be the dragon.
Oh, great!
Get your mum under it. So we had a couple of grown-ups and like any siblings all under the blanket. So it was quite good fun. But yeah, it just makes you got to be more creative. You just got to think outside the box and see what other things you can do, because Boogie Tots transferred quite well. Boogie Crew, which is my older dance group, that didn't really transfer so well onto Zoom, so I didn't continue that one. Yeah, but luckily the parent toddler one works quite well.
Is the Boogie Crew back up and running now?
Yeah, back to face, yeah.
Excellent. Because there's quite a few classes spread over Kent, isn't there? Whereabouts are you?
So I run classes in Faversham, Sittingbourne, Minster, and Lordswood. I've got 2 in Sittingbourne, and to be fair, that's because of the popularity since lockdown. So because you've got restricted numbers, there's only like 15, depending on the size of the hall, only 15 spaces on the class. So the one in Sittingbourne, I run it at Lakeview Hall at Great Eastall, is extremely popular. I don't know why. I don't know why that class in particular is really popular, but it got booked up so far in advance. A lot of it was transfers from lockdown, but it just got booked up. So then the people that couldn't get on that one, maybe they were booking into Minster, so then that one got fully booked, and it came to a point where the classes were fully booked like a month in advance, so you couldn't get onto a class. So I thought, maybe this is the time, maybe we should expand and see if we can get more people coming. So an opportunity fell in my lap with working with Age UK. They asked me to do some exercise with the adults that use the centre, and they're also interested in bringing different generations together. So I said, I could do Boogie Tots, not going in there to do that, but walking away with a Boogie Tots class, and then I do my adult exercise after. So that's how I'm now in Faversham. And then managed to get the Kemsley Hall, and I've got a really good friend who I work with at the holiday park. She said she'd take on some classes, so she's now doing this session in Kemsley, which is a massive hall. We've not quite got the numbers for that one yet, but it's such a great hall that there's a real opportunity to like fill that up if people are interested in coming along. And she also runs one in Lordswood, where she runs a few other classes. So yeah, all of a sudden I've got loads of Boogie Tots classes.
And people can find the information about these classes on your Facebook page?
Yeah, on my Facebook page, yeah, and on my website.
So dancing and kids, what are the benefits?
Oh, there's so many benefits for dancing. When I knew you was going to ask me that, it really got me thinking. And dancing is so beneficial. It's gives you so much confidence. I think confidence at a young age is fantastic, and if you could give a gift of confidence to your child and they take that all the way through, I think to an adult, I think that's really valuable. My son, I've got 3 children. I've got a 16-year-old, Ben. He was the reason I have Boogie Tots and I have Boogie Crew. And then I have Owen, who is 14, and he wasn't into it as much. And now I've got a daughter, Emily, who's 9. And the confidence they have. My middle son, Owen, he has so much confidence. I mean, he's not a fantastic dancer, but he loves to dance. And it'll be because he came to Boogie Tots, because he doesn't really done anything else, and he didn't even enjoy it when he was there, to be honest. But he's really comfortable with who he is. And I just think that's really valuable. So I would say confidence, and Boogie Crew as well. I don't know why it gives them that much confidence, but I kind of, my class says you don't learn technique. We don't go into competitions. There's no pressure. It's kind of a social event as well as a dance thing. If you asked them, they wouldn't say it was a dance class. They would say that they come and play games. So we do play games, but we do a lot of dancing as well. It's not just a games class. And I've got this lovely venue, Friendship House, and it's got a little stage there. So we often go on the stage and perform, and they would stand on the stage, I would do the dance, and they copy. So they feel okay with that because they're just copying it. And then I send them to the side and they take a turn. Everyone goes on and they do any kind of dancing they want, and they just go across. And that's really good because it's they just express themselves freely. They let themselves go. They any moves they want to do. It's really nice. And there's one girl in particular, she was coming a long time before lockdown, and she's just come back, and you can see how her confidence has dropped. I don't know why, maybe because they were stuck at home.
Yeah.
And in that first session, I asked them to do a little bit of choreography and then show. And she got very upset, and she put it down to something else. She said her cat was ill or something. And it just took me a minute, and then I realized, oh yeah, she doesn't like performing. But now when I do that stage thing, she's in it, she's doing it. So I guess if you just change the situation, or I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it just gives them confidence. I guess I just allow them to be who they want to be, and there's not too much pressure.
I think it was interesting when you said about them being able to express themselves. I was going to say, is the confidence in allowing them to express themselves creatively, is that where the confidence comes from?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and I think an awful lot of children go for a stage where they don't dance, and some of them don't ever recover from that because they don't want to look stupid.
Yeah,
because it's the same with other sort of creative things sometimes, like with paint, with drawing or artwork. In that sense, they don't want to draw because they don't think they're good enough, so they don't want to dance because they don't think they're good enough, and they've somehow got the idea that you have to be good at dancing to dance, when actually dancing is about expressing yourself. It's ultimately, yes, there's technique and there's you can learn all sorts of ways of making yourself look beautiful while you're dancing in shapes and things like that, but it is an idea of expressing yourself to music. And I think if you give a child the ability to express themselves, and that confidence really does carry. And if they miss that, and if they're already entrenched in this idea, they get to about 10 or 11 and they're already in this idea that dancing is stupid, and we're going to talk about in a minute, dancing's for girls, then it's difficult to pull them out of that, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say that's what it is. It's freedom to be, because my class in particular, like I often say to them, you don't have to get all the steps right to be the best dancer on the stage. You just gotta be happy, smile, draw people's attention. And I don't say, oh, you did that wrong, I just let them be them, because I'm not selling the class as a professional dance class. It's fun. It's somewhere they meet, they be themselves, and we dance. There's a lot of I would say party dances where they just copy me, but it's not really party dance music. They like Old Town Road, and they keep pushing me to bring back Gangnam Style. That's one. The boys particularly like that one. So and Savage Love, things like that. So if you don't mind, can we go back to the benefits? Can I tell you some more benefits of
Go for it. Yes, of course.
Because I also wanted to say, like, the power of music. I think music is so powerful. It's nostalgic and it's uplifting. So I think music is a real that's my daughter making noise. It's a real like multi-generational, and that's something I really try and use in Boogie Tots. So we have mums and children, but then we also have grandparents. And I was thinking how, like a nursery rhyme, the grandparents would have had it sung to them when they were young, and now we're using that nursery rhyme now for their grandchild. So I think that's really nice. And but coming back to the dancing, like the bonding, I have this little thing where I love to have a song. So I will ask everyone before I do my class, have you got any songs you'd like? And it's a little trick, right? It's a trick I use. But then if I know what song they like, I can engage them with that song and the dance, and then I can bring them back. There was two boys that came to one class and they were running around, which isn't a problem at Boogie Tots. It's not a problem. They're allowed to be children, but you could tell the mum was kind of feeling it, the mum's worry. And I remembered at the beginning they said they like Peppa Pig, pops a Peppa Pig song on, and there they are, they're doing it. And for that one song I grabbed them, got their attention, and got them in. So it's, I think music is very powerful. And with the bonding thing, it's I also have a little trick. I would say this is my unique thing for Boogie Tots, but I would marry Row Your Boat. So row your boat. I've got a little medley where it goes into Oops Upside Your Head.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah, so we're rowing our boat, and then all of a sudden we're doing the clapping. And now the mum is in, because I remember this. I used to do this at my when I was a kid, or I've done it at a wedding. So they're now they're engaged. And also like if you go to a wedding and the Macarena comes on, everyone's on that dance floor. You don't necessarily know each other, but you all know the same dance moves, you all know the song, and you're kind of, for that moment, you've bonded with all those people. So there's lots of benefits to dancing. It's good for exercise, gives you great endorphins, and allows you, like we said before, to just be free and just express yourself, and like dance away the stress, the anxiety, any worries, or if you're angry, it's sometimes good, isn't it? Get some good thrashing dance moves out to get get rid of
I think
it, really.
It's healthier to dance when you're angry than to shout, isn't it? Sometimes if you're aggressive when you're angry, it makes it worse. But if you dance, it can dissipate it, can't it? So
At my adult class, we have one. We have a few ones that we sort of call like independent women songs. So we do The Power by Little Mix, and we do Good as Hell by Lizzo. So they're sort of like our attitude ones. But we've also got one that's got lots of punching in it. So like we always say, if you're feeling a bit angry, here we go with these punches. Just like get it out. Yeah.
It sounds brilliant. Talking of, you mentioned it a little bit earlier about this idea that dancing is for girls. What's the balance at Boogie Tots? Is it an even balance, or?
Yeah, I would say Boogie Tots is quite. Let me just think of this morning. Maybe there are more girls than boys, but like Boogie Tots was made for a boy. It was made for my son, because he loved to dance and sing and act and play, and he's quite an intelligent boy. He's the first one, so they tend to be up. So we went to loads of different groups. We went to like Bounce and Rhyme at the library, which is perfect, a couple of the children's centre ones, and it's all nursery rhymes. So yeah, he likes Row Your Boat, but he also likes We Will Rock You, and he also liked The Crazy Frog, and he liked Michael Jackson. So I just thought there's something here, there's something here to engage these children. I thought my son can't be the only one. I took him to, I thought maybe he needs like a stage school, something like that. So I took him to one, I think it was at the Sheppey Little Bit, I can't remember what it was. And he went on the stage, and he must have been 2 or 3. I think that sounds too young to me, but maybe he was 3. And they asked him to stand still. We're going to sing Hot Cross Buns, stand on your spot. And he just couldn't do it. He just couldn't. He wanted to run around, and he wanted to, I don't know, like play his guitar, or like just let go. And I just thought, this is for you. Like, what is it? And I thought, maybe I should just make something. Maybe why don't we try it and see if there is a class for you. So again, with the boys and girls thing, I think maybe it's a parent's thing. Maybe the parent thinks it's for girls, and therefore they don't bring the boys. But certainly at Boogie Tots, there's a good mixture. But at my Boogie crew on a Monday, I have about 7, maybe 9 people that come. I've got 1 boy in that one. On the Tuesday, I've got 2 boys. There's about 12 in that one. But on Thursday, I've got more boys and girls. So yeah, I don't know. I don't always think not the dancing I do. There isn't really a barrier for boys to dance, and especially like with things like Fortnite, all the dances that come out of Fortnite, which is maybe Fortnite is a boys thing.
But
All
TikTok
those dances.
as well.
Yeah, TikTok. That's very big.
Yeah.
So my 14-year-old, he likes TikTok.
Yeah.
And my daughter, I'm not sure if she should be on it, but she likes TikTok as well.
Well, as long as they're supervised, it's fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I have to admit, I've been taught some TikTok dances and some Fortnite dances, and sort of the, you know, it's like, why not? You know, it's they're great fun. But yeah, so yeah, maybe that has helped with the making dancing a little bit less taboo for boys.
But also, and there's like things like people like Diversity, full of boys. They're quite they're on the telly a lot, aren't they? And the characters that are in Diversity, they've been on a couple of reality shows, so they're people that we recognize and that my children like. And the Masked Singer, and then the Masked Dancer, that is so popular with the children. The Masked Singer and the Masked Dancer. I guess it was nice that they did the Masked Dancer, but yeah, I think there's lots of things. So I don't know why boys don't dance more. I find, so recently I teach at school in Robersham, and it was a bit of, I teach lunchtime dance, so they choose whether they're going to dance with me on the playground or they go on the field or whatever. But because it was it going to rain? It was like a rainy day, but it wasn't quite raining. They were told they can only go up to the top playground if you dance. So if you're dancing, so I managed to get lots. I got it's quite a small school, but I got the juniors, which is I think it's year 3 up to year 6, and I had a packed playground and lots of boys. And there was one boy, he was sort of dominating. He dominated it because, I don't know, they're just a bit brave. We did things like Watch Me Whip, Old Town Road. We did a bit of Timber, which is like a partner dance. And sometimes I think maybe they're taking the mick, but it doesn't matter because they're still, that level of enthusiasm is great. That's what we want anyway. So I used to find that a youth club I went to, when they were taking the mick a bit and exaggerating to be funny to their friends, that's when they did their best dancing, because they were really into it. Yeah,
they were engaging and they were learning. Yeah. Sort of backfired on them a little bit, didn't it? Fair enough. Well, obviously dancing is a real crucial part of keeping kids fit and healthy, and you managed to do that through the lockdown, which is fantastic. Do you have any other tips for parents to keep their kids fit and healthy?
Well, I would say just try things, go to lots of groups. I don't know if you know about that tennis player, I can't remember, Emma Raducanu. She was the one that went to Wimbledon, I think. I heard about her that her parents let her try every sport. So she tried every sport till she found her one. And I think about my children, we tried so many different clubs. And now one of my sons has found golf, and my daughter loves trampolining. But we tried gymnastics, we tried dance, we tried all kinds of things. And I would say just get out there and try stuff. Like sometimes you're not sure if something's for you, and just give it a go. And things at home, like if you, like, who doesn't love a game of chase? Like at Boogie Crew, they love to play sticky toffee, and that's just running around. And like we'll play 2 rounds of that, and they're all puffed out. So we get a drink, reset, and we go again. But just something like that, a game of chase at home is always great fun. Or I particularly like running really fast. I love having a race, so so that's always fun with kids. So like I think if you find the fun in something, then you can get that child active. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent idea. We've got a thing with the 4-year-old where he's not quite old enough to walk anywhere on his own, but there's a stretch on the way to the park and a stretch on the way back from the park where we can see from there to the park and from there to home. So what we do is he usually takes something with him. We take whatever it was that he's taking with him and say, right, you're going to sprint to the park now. Off you go. You can be independent. And we make it as a thing like, he's being independent. He's been on his own, but at the same time, he's running as fast as humanly possible to the park. It's a really good exercise in there. But yeah, so and they're actually really good. A 4-year-old and a 10-year-old, my partner's kids. And they're both getting into running because me and my partner both run, so they were seeing that we run and they were getting interested and they were doing it. And my partner's 10-year-old, he then became one of the fastest kids in the class because he was running.
Oh, wow.
And it's between him and another kid, and sometimes he's fastest, sometimes the other kid's fastest. But we're saying to him, well, if you want to always be the fastest, keep running. So there he is on a Saturday morning with his kit on, going, right, I'm going to go run around the park. And we say, yeah, you are, go on. You know, and it's brilliant. They, as you say, they have to find something that they enjoy and something that they respond to, and then a little bit of confidence boost, like they can see that it's making a difference, you know. So he could see that, you know, running was making a difference because it was making him faster. And in the dance classes, it's making a difference to them, isn't it? You know, they're dancing, it's making them feel better and it's giving them a buzz, so they want to come back and they want to do more, you know. So it's about that, isn't it, really, I think. But talking
I often say to them, they're all sorry.
No, go for it.
I was just going to say at Movie Crew, I never say the dancing part. They're always good at. They're always good at that. They're never like sometimes they're not very good at listening, you know. But the dancing, there's nothing to falter with the dancing because they just like one more yesterday. He said, "Oh, I don't like this song. I don't want to do it." But then he did all of it. So I try not to listen to the chat. I try not to respond to it, and then he did all of it because. I don't know. Either the music captures them, or they're doing it because their friends are doing it, and they don't want to be the odd one out. Or if they do that, they know they get the thing that they want in a moment, which is the game they want to play. So, yeah, I just capture their interest. So once they, like my son, he started golf from when he was 6 because my husband just saw a little bit of talent in him, so he took him to a driving range, and then it just kind of spiraled from there. But it's his thing. Like he's 16 now and he goes every day. Like he would go every day if he could, and he's there now, so he's found his thing. And I just think that's important. It just takes you a while to find what your thing is, doesn't it?
It does, yes. And some kids get it early and some kids don't, but in the meantime they could be still having fun and still exercising with the day-to-day games, couldn't they?
Yeah.
And talking of the power of music, I've still got Savage Love in my head. It's just been going around and around in my head for the whole thing. Savage Love.
Shall I tell you what song I've been singing? You might tell me off. It's coming home. It's coming home. Because every school I've been into, or like any lesson I've been into, they all know that one.
I wonder why we're singing that at the moment. Is there something going on? Maybe, I don't know.
That's what I said to the school yesterday. I said, has anyone heard anything about a football match? They're like, yeah. I said, who was playing in it? And they went, oh, me. So I thought, oh, that's not the right question. What team is playing? Oh, England. Yeah, so they all know about it.
And this podcast might be broadcast on the radio or released after
they've won.
Final on Sunday. So we're going to assume that we've won, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we are going to win, so it's fine.
But commiserations to everybody if we don't. This podcast is also about the Isle of Sheppey, because that's what Simply Sheppey is all about, is celebrating the people and the activities and the Isle of Sheppey and everything it's about. So what's your favourite thing about the Isle of Sheppey?
I think I like the community spirit, because we are a small island, and because we're a small island, we know lots of people, don't we? I think that's quite nice. There's a lot of connections to be made, and a lot of jobs I have had actually is because our mum came to Boogie Tots and now they work in the school, you know, so that's quite nice. I also, when I was younger, I used to be a hotel entertainer, and I worked abroad in Cyprus and Rhodes and Gran Canaria, and
wow.
Yeah, so I also work at the Golden Lease Holiday Park, and they've got a outdoor swimming pool, and sometimes, you know, if you squint your eyes a little bit, it can be like you're abroad, because it does sort of have the atmosphere about it, doesn't it? The island, and got great places to go. I love Barton's Point. Or one thing I do really love, me and my daughter particularly, we love the arcades. That's one of our favourite things. Growing up, I grew up in Upchurch, which is a little village a bit near Rainham, and we used to come to the arcades like with my sister and her husband, and used to love coming there. And it used to seem such a long way from Upchurch, because we didn't have the bridge and everything. And yeah, that's one of my favourite things to do on a Sunday, just pop down there, go to the arcades.
Okay, fair enough. It's not quite the same. I mean, I moved to the island not quite sort of fairly recently, and I've been told that Leesdown is not as happening as it used
not
to
what
be.
it was.
Yeah, it might be quite nice if there was some investment in the area, I think, to sort of spruce it up a bit.
I thought there was some. They tried to do something with that bandstand and Leesdown Carnival. That's always nice.
Oh, I do like a carnival.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure it's as popular as it was, or maybe people aren't taking part as much. But I do think that is a big thing, that the Leesdown Carnival.
Yeah, and then there's a Queenborough one this year, isn't there?
Oh, is there?
Yes, sometime. God, is it end of July? Goodness me. Okay, I'm going to have to get the information about that before I put the podcast out. But I'm really looking forward to that one. Because obviously, you know, the lockdowns are restrictions are lifting and things, and they can start putting things like that on again.
Yeah.
So hopefully this year we'll have some things, and then next year we'll be back to normal, please God.
Yeah.
So talking of sort of, you know, we mentioned about potentially a little bit more investment in Leesdown. Do you think that there's anything else that we need to do as an island to make it a better place to live?
I think appreciate it more. Appreciate where we live, and not. You can see a lot of people quite negative about the island, particularly Sheerness, and I just think there's opportunities there. My husband is quite interested in opening up a shop there, and trying to make it a bit more things to do. You know, like entertainment in the town. There's lots of good things, you know, like the coffee shops and like the little restaurants and the cake shops. I don't really know what we could do. I think personally, I think appreciate it more, appreciate what we have. My daughter said look after the environment more.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, for a start, let's stop littering, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree actually, looking after the environment. And I think looking after the environment comes if you appreciate the island. So, you know, that's the start of it, isn't it? If you appreciate it, you start to own it. And if you start to own it, you start to then treat it better.
Yeah.
And then hopefully
be proud of it.
Yeah. And then hopefully good things will come from that. You know, obviously you won't get the buy-in from all the kids all the time, but at least as adults we can set an example for them.
Yeah. Well, we Golden Lee set up a little bit during lockdown. We did a beach clean, but to be fair, there wasn't that much rubbish to collect on the beach. So I think people, because it was Minster Lees, I think that's an area we do appreciate and we do keep nice. And so maybe that was the wrong place to go, or at the time. Plus, it was lockdown, so I guess not many people have been there, had they? So
that's true.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just thought of that.
maybe after a packed weekend in the summer.
Exactly, you're right.
Yeah. But I think there are. It was Sheppey Matters did a beach clean, I think, very recently.
I think we borrowed the things off Sheppey Matters.
Yeah. Bosun's do regular litter picks on a Saturday morning. They give you a free coffee if you go in and you grab a litter pick and you fill up a bag.
Oh, I love that thing. I would like go out myself. I could consider buying myself one, because I did enjoy using the litter.
You don't need to. You can email a lady at the council, and she will drop round a litter picker and some bags for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we have a litter picker and some bags, and we've done the field, the Thistle Hill field, and the Thistle Hill playground a couple of times.
Maybe you might live near me then, Kay, because I'm near the Thistle Hill playground.
Well, there you go. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, we did it. Yeah, we've only done it a couple of times. The first time we did it, it was horrendous. There was just so much, and it took so long. And then the second time we did it, there was less, but I think it's because the grass had just been cut.
Right.
So maybe either they picked it all up before they cut the grass, or people could see it more because the grass was shorter and it made them feel worse about dropping it. I don't know, but it was certainly better the second time round, because the first time round was just after the lockdown was easing.
Right.
So people were just starting to gather in groups, and it was just rubbish everywhere. The football teams had just started up in the field and things like that. But yeah, so there is a contact at the council that you can email. She'll drop it around to your house, and they will arrange for the litter to be picked up. as well from the house, from the blue bags.
Sounds fun.
Oh yeah, I the kids are having playing in the park and they're doing their thing, and I'm there with my little pick on picking up all the time. But it keeps me fit and healthy. That's how you keep kids fit and healthy. You take them on litter picks.
Good idea.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sammie, for joining me on this podcast. It's been a lot of fun and a lot of laughs, so thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All the best to your business, and we will, as I said, post the links to your business if anybody wants to join any of your classes. Obviously you do all ages, so if anybody's interested, they can get in touch. And also, if anybody wants to be involved in the Simply Sheppey podcast, just let me know. We're on the Facebook page Simply Sheppey, and we're on simplysheppey@gmail.com.